Today I'm going to be reading Rocket to Insanity. Ah! Screams echoed throughout the cloud palace of Rainbow Dash's home. The filly startled wide awake in a cold sweat, terror surging through her veins. Nightmares, again, for the 7th time this month, and it was always the same one. The one with the cupcakes. Flashes of memory lanced through her head, wings being hacked off, then ripped from their sockets, needles plunged into her beating heart, adrenaline injected into her body to keep her wide awake and alert to the torture. Alert at the torture went on. Blah. Words! The smell of her own flesh cooking. Side of her oh my gosh. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna edit it a little bit so it's a little bit censored. The sight of her own blood and gore spilling from her incised underbelly. The mastermind behind her territorying with those glistening organs like they were party favors. She knew in her heart that Pinkie Pie would never be capable of doing such a gruesome act, but that thought didn't help make the dreams any less vivid. The Pegasus pony sobbed openly, curling up in her blanket and rocking back and forth as her body trembled with fear. She hadn't told anyone about the dreams or the lingering feeling of steel-piercing flesh and blade-cutting bone. Her work suffered because of the constant night terrors, the nightmares being so powerful that she was simply afraid of going back to sleep. Some nights staying up altogether in an attempt to stave off the horrors just for one more night, and everybody wondered why she spent most of her days napping in the open and in the daylight, because she could only because in the shining brilliance of the sun, it was the only way she could actually rest. But even then, the black clutches of her fear-addled subconscious began to creep into that relative safety, following her through the dreaming world. Dash whimpered as tears streaked down her face, staining the fur on her cheeks, as wide eyes darted around the darkened scenery of her room, heart pounding in her chest as breath became before hiccuping sobs. There we go! Her wings clinging tightly against her form as paranoia began to clutch the edges of her mind. Shadows launched and moved in her peripheral vision, routine natural noises becoming distorted and echoing within her mind. Adrenaline surged through her shivering form. This wasn't healthy. Her mind was slowly breaking under the horrors of her subconscious mind, things that no pony should ever even have the slightest thought about, chipping away at her psyche. She was starting to crack. Okay, guys, that's part 1. I'm gonna do this in different parts, so it's not too long for you. But it'll be a pretty fun little time doing it. Bye, my wolfies.